Hi, this is Bob Weiss. I'm the host of Shakin' Your World. Cheers.
Afternoon, and welcome home. Another episode of Shakin' Your World. We're doing a little flash in the pan today. By popular request, we've had a desire by Phil here to come play in the kitchen and to do a ribeye with us. So Phil is going to, good old friend of the house, Phil is going to do a ribeye with a Eisenhower sauce. And it's one of these staples at Shakers. And we have this beautiful prime ribeye here, and a few other components to play with. We're going to do some mushrooms with this, we're going to do some cabbage with this. We've got a potato baking away in the oven, and let's see what happens. So, here we are, Phil. Welcome. You might have to put the stick down for a moment because you're going to be cutting.
I didn't know I'd have to come to work.
Yeah, that's why you're here, brother.
I'm here to eat.
That's part of it. So, we have an onion. Small onion, yellow onion. What I want you to do is to cut this straight down the center, peel it off, and then we're going to slice this down, which is going to go into that pan right there. Just a simple caramelization process. I'm sure you've all seen this take place here multiple times.
This one doesn't want to get naked.
Get your dainty little fingers in there. Sometimes it's best to kind of smash them on the side that frees the cellulose from the wrap.
Do you want them cut like this?
Well, yeah, what I want you to do is to take these this way and to cut them down this way. When you get halfway through,
turn it around.
Flip it around.
Got it.
But peel off first.
It is peeled, isn't it?
All that peel off.
Oh, jeez.
Onion skin, it's good to write on. So far, we've been blood-free, nick-free, cut-free here. Let's see what happens
Maybe
today.
if I talk dirty to it, the clothes will come off.
Maybe.
That never happens in real life,
Phil's seducing that onion over there. Take a little extra virgin olive oil, some Lee and Perrins Worcestershire. There are others out there. I happen to think this gives the best results. Oregano, maybe a little more oregano. A touch of salt and pepper. That's going to warm up. Take a little bit of butter. Pardon my reach over you. So you might say, my God, there's fat that takes place with the steak anyway. Why are you adding butter? Well, we want to get a lot of flavor going here. That's the answer. In this pan, we're going to do some mushrooms. So again, a little olive oil first. More butter. We are in the dairy state after all. Now, that's the way to cut your fingertips off. I can show you something real quick. If you have your fingers back this way, and create a little bridge, there's less likelihood of cutting those digits off. We want your fingers intact.
Oh, I can see that.
Maintain our record here.
Well,
That's good.
Usually when I'm done eating one of these steaks, I have to count my fingers anyway, make sure they're all there.
I understand. So you can take this bench knife and use that to get everything in there. Lovely. Now, onions need what? Oh yeah, butter.
Lots of butter.
Lots of butter. So you're taking our mushrooms and we just slice these down horizontally. I like keeping the stems intact as well. These are just standard button mushrooms. You want to use anything else, please do it. Whatever works best for you. So these are just going to be our sides. We're working away right here. In a moment, get a little bit of white wine in here. Help to bring this up. Get some sugar in there as well. Now we're going to take this gorgeous ribeye. This is prime. And how well do you want this done, Phil?
Well, I'm a Polish aristocrat, so I like it medium rare.
Medium rare. So for those of you that don't know at home the temperatures, you can judge a couple different ways when the steak is going to be ready. If you would throw that out, please. So even though we have some of the seasoning inside the pan, we're also going to do this. I'm just going to take my fingers and poke it like this. That does a good job of getting this in. You can marinate these and set these up, and I like to say that either you do it the night before or you do it right before you cook it. Just seems to yield better results. So our pan obviously is nice and hot right now. Going to lay that guy right in there. We're not going to cut any of the fat off because we want the flavor from the fat. It's all going to marry together with everything else going on. This happens relatively quickly. Let's get a little flavor here. I'll grab some red wine. This is a Ravage Cabernet from California. You take those down to just a simmer. We're cooking on induction today, of course, the coolest way to cook. Onions looking pretty good. We can back those down a little bit as well.
What's the difference between prime and choice?
Well, money. The degree of marbling as well. Beef prices are ridiculous right now. And I do mean ridiculous. This is a sugar. This is derived from coconut palm. And you might not have access to this. You can just use the brown sugar as well. The nice thing about coconut palm sugar, it has a very low glycemic value. So if you have an issue with your blood, that shouldn't impact it as much. So we got this real nice little thing going on right now. Our pan's working up pretty well. We're going to flip this guy over. All right, so at this point, I'm going to take this and put this in our oven. And we're currently just about 750 degrees. So at 750, that's not going to take long at all. These guys are just going to work themselves down. Just going to work itself down. And just again, all we're doing is keeping that warm. Now, while all this is taking place, I want you to cut this. So, fortunately,
It's complicated.
highly complicated. So you can just do that, and then you can do a side like that. And give me about maybe 6 more of these, please. So looking at something thin, the thinner things are, the more flavor they have because there's more interaction with the air. So where someone's about, you know, 1/4 of an inch, 3/16, whatever you got. Beautiful. That looks pretty good. So we're going to take these and separate them a little bit. We're not going to use the core. That's going to go that way.
I can use that.
And something just like that. And let that work. This we can toss. Hello, goodbye. Thank you. We're going to use our lemon and the Eisenhower sauce, and a touch of this is going to go onto our cabbage as well. So just a little smudge in there helps to accelerate the flavors. Everything's going to be really bright and happy. And we're getting a little salt and pepper in there too, just because. Simple so far, right?
Simple.
Okay. So the degree of temperature differences, if you think about things start at 120 degrees, so you're going to have things that are going to be, in the pantheon of things, you're going to have things that are rare, things that are medium rare, things that are medium well, and then well. So 120, 130, 140, 150, 160 degrees is how you should judge these things. And everyone should have a simple probe at their house. Standard probe like this. We have other variations as well that are electric as well. It really doesn't matter what time you use or what type you use, as long as you're getting the temperature range that you want. So medium rare for the Polish aristocracy over here, you're going to be
140.
really
150.
well. If you're at 120, 130 for medium rare, 140 for medium, you want to be about 130 degrees. Cool. I know this is where the math portion comes in. We told you no math. We lied.
Right.
So I'm sure you've seen the videos that Paul and I have gone at it with the caramelized onions, and you can certainly caramelize your onions without having any sugar added to it. I just want to boost the flavors as much as possible. Again, I like this the coconut palm sugar. It adds a lot and also expedites the process, because in a busy restaurant you got to move things through. We don't like to have batches done ahead of time because they get kind of sogged out. They're not as preferable. Any questions about anything here, Phil? You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's take a gander at our steak. So about 120 degrees. Now the thing about anything that you're cooking, it's going to continue to cook even after you take it off the heat. So there's going to be a gain of about 10 degrees. So we will pull this at about 120 or so. So I would say at 750 degrees, we've got a minute and a half left to go. And I'm always in the habit of taking my probe out and wiping it anyway. It's just it's not the same as sterilizing in between, but it just keeps it clean as you move through the process. It's a shame that you can't smell this because this cabbage smells really good. And you might think, why do I want cabbage along with my steak? I think it's just a really nice accent point. It looks pretty on the dish as well. And again, we could literally take this if we wanted to, not necessary, and we could cut this even finer than it is.
This one's mine.
Absolutely. It's done. Maybe it's a touch more heat on this, and a little more peppercorn.
What's the story behind the Eisenhower sauce?
Ah, the Eisenhower. Well, legend has it that Ike himself really enjoyed his steaks done this way. So lean parents has been around for over a century. It just adds so much flavor to things, and really much of that comes from the anchovies that are part of the mix that are in there. So you get people all the time that eat this and say, oh my God, anchovies or fish, I won't touch that. But it really, really brings us together. It's the whole umami of the dish as well. It's the texture on your palate and expands all the components on your tongue to taste. Something like that. All right, so again, back all the way down here. We're done. We're done. We're all happy. Let's get our steak. A dish like this, center of the plate, premium item, needs to have a big dish on it. And I've gone to restaurants that give you a little bitty dish. You can't maneuver, you can't work things around. I think that's kind of a travesty, personally.
Right.
So all we're going to do is just take this right here, lay this on the side, and put our steak here for a moment to finish it. Hot pan coming through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw off much of the fluid that's here. So this is a little bit from the butter, but it's really the fat that's on the side where flavor is that is now integrated into this thing. Yeah, if we wanted to in some situations, like if we had a filet, we'd be basting this all the time with butter as well. I don't think it's necessary in a ribeye because there's so much fat that's here.
So are you fat shaming the ribeye?
No, as a matter of fact, we're not doing any part of that.
Because now this is getting where my skill is, eating.
You're doing a great job so far, brother.
Thank you.
We're going to take our lemon, any lemon will do, and to really bring home the flavors of the herbs and the spices, that oregano that's on here right now, along with the pepper. And there's a natural affinity between lemon and oregano and lemon and peppercorn. It just adds so much. Going to bring that up like that. We're about where we want to be for temperature. You should let your meat sit for a while, stand, as the term is, so that the juices kind of work themselves back in. It's a nice succulent cut. If you cut it in too fast, it's not going to have that same effect on it.
I don't have that kind of discipline at home. Usually by the time I get my steak to the grill, it's already half gone.
I must say I'm pretty much the same way. But anyway, here we are. So we have our mushrooms that began with butter. We're finished off with a Cabernet. Some on the plate, some on the steak, some on the plate. And our caramelized onions can go just about anywhere. We got one last thing that somehow we're going to fit on this plate, and that's going to be that potato that we got lurking in the oven.
Oh.
So this is a twice-baked potato. I initiated the process with it. No one saw that. And then we restuffed it, took everything out of it, cored it out, restuffed it with the potato, stuck it back in the oven, and there you have that monstrous combination. Wow. This will be your light lunch for today.
Wow.
So we'd like you to find a place to sit, and they're going to watch you cut into it in a moment, not quite yet, and we'll see what happens.
All
so
right.
Where do you want to sit?
Well, you picked it, Bob. It's your place.
That's mighty gracious of you, but the place you're most comfortable, Phil.
Edit.
So Phil, while waiting for that steak to get ready to cut into, tell us a quick story.
Well, give me a subject, Bob.
Steaks. How long have you been eating steaks, Phil?
Oh, since I've been about 3 years old, I think. Ever since I cut my first teeth. But ribeye is my favorite, of course.
Excellent.
Yeah. And like you said, it's the most flavorful, very palatable, quite delectable.
You were telling a story about hunting the cattle before, weren't you? Back on the range and
Yeah,
you
hunting
out
cows.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and your slingshot, I think it was.
Yeah. Cows aren't as easy to kill as you think they are. But
I believe
very
that.
hard to hunt.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to start notching on the other components, feel free to tell us how sumptuously they taste.
Well, I was sneaking a few of these jibas, which is Polish for mushrooms. Very good flavor. It coats the whole tongue. I'm going to try these onions here.
Please.
The brown sugar really brings out the flavor in those onions.
So, Phil, your past, obviously, you've been on Chicago PD a couple of times,
Yes. Yep.
and
About
you've got
3 times.
other film credits to your background as well in your CV, don't
Mr.
you?
3000. Yeah, I was a third base umpire in that.
There you go.
Yeah, that was. They fed us very well. That was a very good experience. Chicago PD got a little running down to Chicago in snowstorms, and they, just couldn't make it anymore. And if you miss one time, they're not calling you back
Yeah,
anymore. So, yeah, I'm blacklisted down there. All right, should I cut into it?
Have at it.
All right, this isn't going to scream, is it?
Maybe.
Well, look at that. That is done perfect. That is, it's just amazing how you can do this in a pan in that oven.
I'll chew 30 times.
Excellent. One of the best ones I've ever had. The Eisenhower sauce is phenomenal.
Well, and you obviously participated, so now
Yes.
you can recreate this at home anytime you want.
Well, I'll have to pass it on to my wife. She's the head chef at home. Like I said, my skill is eating. So it's a very good relationship. This cabbage, too.
That's a great contrast.
I had the cabbage at, it was John Erb's Cafe?
Sure.
With cabbage?
Yep.
That's excellent, just excellent. The whole meal is fantastic.
Yeah, the cabbage keeps your colon happy. That's a good thing.
We all need that.
Absolutely.
So on that Chicago PD, my roles were as homicide detectives most of the time. One time I played a tactical officer on the street. And it's just amazing how they can organize all these people just for all the extras, just all the... They always tell you can't talk to the stars, don't talk to the TV, but they can come up and talk to you, which a couple I have. I forgot the main actor there, whatever his name is, came up to me, told me I had nice hair. Walked away.
Wow.
I don't know. But we got to smoke cigars on the set, and that was a plus.
Obviously, you bring that little hint of the Dennis Ferrara kind of concept into the things that you do as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is just wonderful, just wonderful.
Excellent. Well, another satisfied customer here at Shakers. I appreciate your time. Thanks for tuning in today, and I hope we taught you something. Again, it's the flash in the pan. It's amazing how quickly you can create a dish that is as good as anything you'll find in a restaurant anywhere in this country. All you have to do is just get into it and do it, man. There's no secret here. There's no recipe here. Just create the dish the way you want it to be for you, for your family, the people that you love. Thanks for taking the time. We'll see you soon. Cheers.
Do you have any ketchup?